Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, and welcome to Starting from Scratch. And this is effectively session one, session one that we recorded last night. Didn't necessarily record, and so what we're going to do is kind of redo this session one. And so what I hope to do is I was going to break up session one into two sessions, and what I hope to do today is actually to finish the entire session in one swoop. If you have any questions as we go along, please feel free to write them there in the box. That'll help me to know that I am connecting properly to you. What I mean by connecting, of course, is that you're sort of getting where I'm coming from. And so if you're here, what I'm going to ask you is if what I'm telling you is making sense, please let me know. That'll help me to determine whether or not the information is making sense. So if it makes sense to you, it'll make sense to your customers also. Now, so let's start with starting from scratch session one. And what we're going to be talking about, of course, is we're getting set up for the method now. And actually, we're going to tonight or today do a setup overview. We're also going to talk about setting up your squeeze page. Now, as I said yesterday, is most, if not everyone who's watching or listening to this, you know how to set up a squeeze page, but there are some specific aspects of this that you need to know to make this method work, and in fact, to make your business work if you're going to be doing this. And we're also going to be talking about setting up your landing page. Once again, I understand you know how to set up a landing page, and I wouldn't insult you by telling you that you don't know how to do this. However, there's some specifics to the landing page that you need to pay attention to that is going to make this work. This is really about getting a fast start. And a number of you are probably thinking probably long-term about your business. You're probably thinking you want to start in something that's going to sustain you or something that's going to give you the kind of customers that are gonna last forever. And these and this is great. We want to help you to start generating income and making sales with your internet marketing business. And so we're going to be talking about setting up your sales page. And the same thing is true for this as we talked about the other things. There are going to be some specific aspects that I'm going to be asking you to do, and then setting up your platform. Setting up your platform. We're going to be working on the Warrior Plus platform in order to do this, right? And so we're going to be talking about how to use this platform. Okay, we're going to be talking in the advanced sessions. Now, that's not going to be today. That is going to be later down the line. We're going to be talking about creating and selling rebrandable software. Creating rebrandable software, and that really is going to be the method. Yeah, Genius Marketing Pro should be fine, Gareth. Should be fine. There are some things that, you know, as I go through this, you're going to want to make sure that you're able to do, but I think that just about everything I'm going to be talking about today, you're going to be able to do. Okay, so and obviously in the last session, what I'd like to be able to do is to talk about a few case studies and examples, And as we know, for session two, my wife Laurel is going to be coming on. She's going to be talking about defense, and so when we do that, she's actually going to be showing you some things that will help you to squeeze all of your money out of what you're doing. And so we'll get into that during her sessions. We're going to be basically talking about, when we do this, 4 ways to use your PLR and your rebrandable software. And once again, the goal of this is for you to start generating leads and making sales. We're going to be talking about a sales method. So in other words, how do I make more sales? And in particular, even if you choose not to use a Warrior Plus network, how can I use my PLR, use this method in order to make sales? Number 2, we're going to be talking about the offline method, So some of you are actually looking at offline customers. Some of you are actually looking at getting clients, right? So we're going to be talking about that in the offline method, and that's going to be during the advanced session. We're going to talk about the lead generation method. right? That's going to be important because most of what you're going to be doing with what I'm going to be showing you is generating leads, and of course then you sell them what you want, right? You're going to be selling them what you want. How many of you have you have offline customers? You have small business customers. So if you have people that you're working with offline, small businesses, please put the number 1 in the question box. That'll help me. And then we're going to be talking about the affiliate bonus method. And really, once you understand how to create the software, you're going to be able to create some fantastic bonuses with your PLR and other PLR. And I'll tell you how to kind of do this in a way that's going to give you an advantage over your competition. Right now, let's talk about the setup. And so kind of the first thing that you're going to want to do is to make sure that you're set up to collect double opt-in leads. And that is very, very, very important. The whole method really works knowing that you're going to have high quality leads. And how many of you knew that there are 2 tiers of leads in internet marketing? Now I realize you can collect single opt-in leads. I know that you can actually email them too from your autoresponder, and I'm not even talking about the fact that they will not work. What I am saying is that when an autoresponder actually sends out those messages, it puts them in 2 buckets. And in particular, Aweber sites like GetResponse are going to put the double opt-in in one box. They're going to put the single opt-in in the other box, and the reason is because single opt-in just is going to have more complaints. Right? And even though you did your due diligence, even though you actually got that lead, your double opt-in leads actually will be considered at a higher, I guess, on a higher plane or with more weight than single opt-in. Understanding the fact that you can get single opt-in leads, right? And that's not what I'm saying. You're obviously going to need an autoresponder. Right? You're going to need an autoresponder, and that autoresponder needs to send out more than broadcast, right? So if you have an autoresponder and it's in place and it's ready to go, then you're going to be fine. Now, please, and I said this yesterday too, please don't try to budget for this. Right? Don't try to. If this is going to be the one thing that you're going to want to make sure, even if you're not using it, you're going to want to make sure that you've got something that works. And I will probably be in the minority here, but I will tend to stick to brand names here. And I'm biased when it comes to this. I'm going to say Aweber, GetResponse, what is it, ActiveCampaign, all those brand names. And here's why I say that. Gareth says he's got too many. I understand, Gareth. I've got more than my fair share. But here's the thing. When Google has conferences or Hotmail has a conference, these guys at Aweber and GetResponse, they go to those conferences. And they go and they're there and they're talking to the representatives and trying to figure out what's going on. They're doing research. And that's really what you're paying for. When you pay that monthly fee, it's not just that they're trying to I'd say jack up the price. They've got to pay for being able to do the kind of research and have staff so that your emails will get delivered. Right? So if you're doing things on the up and up, you want to have a partner that's going to make sure those emails get sent. You want to make sure that if somebody isn't on the up and up, that email provider, their email won't work for them. Right? You want to pay for that. And so what I would say to you is that if you feel like, well, I feel like I'm spending too much by getting this autoresponder, please do not feel that. Aweber, GetResponse, I think they're $20 a month. When you're on the lowest level, maybe as high as 150 when you've got a bunch of leads, but still it's minimal in terms of what you're going to be making if your autoresponder works right. You need a page builder. Right? You need a page builder. Now, your page builder needs to do certain things. I'm going to talk about that here in this session. So kind of note down that your page builder does the things I'm going to be talking about doing. You need a squeeze page, right? Your page builder needs to make your squeeze page quickly, right? You need to be able to make a squeeze page in a day. You don't need to have a squeeze page. It's going to take you more than a day to make. You need to have a way to generate graphics. right? You have a way to generate graphics. If your way of generating graphics is you call your designer, then that's fine. Just understand something. I work with a designer myself, and when I've got to call the designer, it's going to take me, I know it's going to be a day and a half probably before we really get a chance to talk about what I really want. And that's if, our designer there, he's very responsive. Whether it's myself or Laurel or Sydney or somebody who's trying to contact him, he's not avoiding us. It's probably just going to be a day and a half due to time changes before we actually connect and talk about it. Now, what am I going to do in that day and a half? I'm going to create the graphics myself. And so even if you have a designer, you need to be able to do some things yourself. So you need to have a way to create graphics. I'm always going to suggest that you go with understanding a little bit of Photoshop. If you don't want to do that, there's Usign and some of the other tools that are out there and available. You need to, and the same thing is going to be true with HTML, right? And if you don't know a little HTML, please get to know just a little bit. At minimum, you need to know how to center things. You need to know how to change a color. You need to know how to put in a link. All those basic things. You can actually look them up on the internet, but it's really cool as an internet marketer if you know a little HTML. How many of you all are comfortable that you know at least, I'd say 10 commands in HTML, right? The 10 basics. You know how to center stuff. You know how to create links. You know how to change a color. Many of you all know how to do those basics, right? So if you do, great. If you don't, then just take maybe half a day or a quarter of a day or an hour of your tomorrow and just learn those basics, right? Everybody needs to learn a little HTML. Our internet still works on HTML, so you need to know that. The first thing you're going to need to do, you need to set up. Your offers in order to buy, and so you are going to want to make sure that your offers are set up, right? Your offers need to be set up in order for others to buy them. And so how many of you all have your PLR offers set up at this point? And if not, this is something that you can be doing this week, and you don't have to have them all set up on different domains. In fact, it's almost better if you have your PLR offers set up on one domain, right? So that your supermarketer.com/Facebook Live, supermarketer.com/YouTube Live, supermarketer.com/Snapchat Live, whatever the case is. All your PLR offers ought to be set up. When you get and you buy a PLR offer, right, immediately, right, have it set up. If you don't want to set it up, then it's going to be worth it for you to have somebody set it up. And again, I'm not just out here just telling you to spend money. Hopefully you can go and do this yourself. If you don't want to pay somebody, and if you do, I mean, if you can pay somebody to do it, pay somebody to do it. But if you buy something, and I'm going to tell you why this is the case, right? And I know not everybody even uses PLR to sell, but I'm going to tell you why this is important. And when you're setting up PLR offers, always err to the side of giving people something to help them. So in other words, typically you get a PLR product, you're going to have the option of giving people personal rights or master resale rights. I'm going to say always pass on the master resale rights. Why? Because people like to get things they can use. They like to learn things, but they like to learn things and use them. They're no different than you are. So when you get a chance, and again, this is why software sells so well, because people like things, tangible things that they can use. And so you want to give people something they can use in their business. You want to err away from giving them something to learn, right? You want to err away from giving them something to learn. Always try to give them something to do if you can. And then you want to differentiate with your own unique value. You want to differentiate with your own unique value. And then, of course, you always want to add in the value that people expect you to have. Now, inside of the Make Money Online niche, when you're putting together an offer, here's what people expect. They expect to get more product. And so what I said yesterday, and I really, I don't want to put a lot of emphasis on this, but this is pretty important. At minimum, you want to give people what they expect and then go a little bit further. So in other words, if you know that everybody who's put together an offer, let's say on Facebook, they're all giving people done-for-you ads, then that's what people are going to expect. And so you've got to do at least that much. I'm not saying you have to copy somebody's offer, but you need to give people at minimum, right? At minimum, what they expect. If people are getting niche software or white label software as a bonus, then at minimum, right, when you put together your offer, at minimum, your offer needs to have white label software. Don't ever do anything less than what people expect. You add in the value that people expect, and then you add in your own unique value on top of that whenever you put together an offer. When I look at your sales page, even if it's a PLR product that you bought, it ought to have at minimum the stuff people are expecting, and also have something unique that you're offering that you know people are not expecting. So if you understand that, please put the number 1 in the question box. You understand that, right? If you get that. Okay, so now let's talk about setting up a squeeze page. On your squeeze page, you need to have one valuable offer, and I'm going to actually show you what I mean by this. And I'm going to go to a squeeze page that I have here. Okay, here is a bad example of a squeeze page, but it is one, right? So pretty much, again, I think this is one of the first ones that I did. I'm going to actually show you another one here, but once again, the thing about a squeeze page is that there's only one thing going on it, right? And you need to be able to create these quickly and effectively, so that people can actually give you their name and email address. Again, I know you know how to do this, but there's a reason I'm telling you to lay the foundation this way. This is the foundation we're laying. So I'm talking about doing one valuable offer on the squeeze page. I'm going to show you ideally how I would like for to think about this, and one way that you want to consider doing it. Right now, I'm not saying my way is the only way. I'm saying that, let's see, if I can kind of find this. Okay, here's what I like better, right? Here's what I like better, and I'll tell you why. This is something that there's only one thing happening on this page. There is there's a two-step opt-in, and I'll talk about that here in a minute. There's an image, there's a testimonial, and then there's a call to action, right? All of that on one page. This page is mobile responsive. Right, so you want to make sure that if you're going to use a page builder, it should be mobile responsive. So if somebody looks at this on their mobile device, it's going to look right, and it's going to look like a squeeze page on a mobile device. You want to make sure your squeeze page is doing that. And then let me show you kind of sort of how to think about this. So let's go. I'm going to go to the inside here of my page builder, and we're going to go inside of that one. Okay, now one of the things that I want to show you here is that this squeeze page has a couple of elements. Basically, what I did in order to create this squeeze page is I customized one of the templates. Right, so I took a template, and all I did was recustomize the template. Now, whatever page builder you use, it needs to have these elements. It needs to have one thing going on here. It needs to be really clear, and it needs to be mobile responsive. Right now, one of the things that I'm going to suggest that you try to find is a two-step opt-in process. Number one, here's what I mean by that. It means that when the person actually clicks this, they're going to then have to put in their name and email address in order to get what you promised them. right? Make sure that if you can, now you might not be able to do this, and your page builder might not do this, but it's okay if it doesn't. I'm saying that if you can do it, try to do it. Okay. The other thing is that I never leave the person coming to my page to chance. So in other words, one of the things I'm going to be trying to do is I'm actually going to be trying to make sure that I visualize the actual product that they're going to be getting. Right? So whatever you can do, you want to put together an image that will help you to be able to do that. You can use any PLR template that has PSD files, and you just make the changes to them according to what you're offering. Let me show you what I mean by that. I'm going to go into Photoshop here, and let's open this up here. Okay, so whether you're using Photoshop or not Photoshop, look, you just want to have a decent looking template, and you want to have something that's going to make people understand and visualize that you're actually giving them something, right? So let's just write it here, Facebook Live, and then we're going to just change this to videos. You know, whatever it is that you're offering. Okay, so whatever your software is, whatever you're using, you always want to have something on that squeeze page where they can visualize what it is they're doing. Of course, when you make changes in your Facebook or in your Photoshop document or whatever you're using, you're going to create a 3D image, and you're going to leave that 3D image on your page. And those are going to be some of the elements you're going to want to have on your squeeze page. Does everybody get what I mean by a squeeze page? Ideally, this is what I think you should have. Now, I don't think it needs to be any more than that. I think that anything else, I'm not a big believer in, and I've actually tested squeeze pages with videos, and squeeze pages with videos seems like it's overkill, right? When people come and they look at this, you want them to be able to make a decision quickly and kind of get what they're looking for, and then you give it to them. And I'll tell you why that is here in a minute, why we want to have this squeeze page as our foundation. Okay, so if you get the squeeze page part, please put the number 2 in the question box, so to understand where we're coming from. If you don't, please put the number 3 in the question box. All right, so now, okay, that's a bad example. All right. Okay, I think I said it should be something that they pay for, and it should be a no-brainer for them to opt in with a good email. If possible, use a 2-step opt-in. Your graphics only have to be passable, right? And that's really what I talked about yesterday. They don't have to be fantastic. They just need to be passable. If you go out and you buy some templates that will help you to create 3D graphics, that's mostly going to be okay. Just look at it to make sure that it's at minimum kind of communicating that there's going to be this substantial package you're going to get, right? So your graphics only have to be passable. And then you're going to want to have a thank you page. And one of the reasons why, and let's kind of go take a look at this. When I set this up, right? When I set this up, I'm going to need to have a thank you page. And it's going to require me to have a thank you page in here. Let me show you what a thank you page is going to look like. I think this is a thank you page that we put together. Okay, so a thank you page, for the most part, no, that's a confirm page. Let's get a thank you page here. Thank you page is going to be, it's going to say check. Let's look for this. Okay, here we go. Okay, your thank you page needs to say this. That's it. Okay, because when the person actually opts in, you want to send them to this page, and you do not want to deliver your product to them because you want them to opt in, right? So you want to tell them, hey, go check your email so you can confirm. Remind them. If you want to, create a video for this, right? You want to make sure you get them onto your list before you start giving out stuff and before you start even giving what it is you promised. You want them to go ahead and confirm. And if they want what you have, they're going to follow through. If you give it to them before they confirm, they're not going to follow through. And so you got to make sure that your thank you page only says this, right? Don't put any. Now, I know some marketers will say, I think Frank Kern says this, you can actually send them to an offer here, right? You can put an offer in here instead of giving them what they promised. You can actually give them an offer that's related to what you promised them, right? So again, just as long as you don't deliver the thing until they've actually opted in. Okay, tell them to check their email, and then some believe you can send an offer to them. Frank Kern does. And then there's going to be the confirm page. So let's take a look at the confirm page here. I'll show you what I mean by that. The confirm page is going to be and let's take a look inside of my campaign settings. Okay, so when the customer actually confirms inside their email, this is what they're going to confirm to if we don't change it. Right? And what we're doing is we're advertising for GetResponse. And not that they're not deserving of it, but we want to make sure that we're doing something for our business. So when they confirm, we want to send them to a URL that's going to give them, again, something of ours. Now, personally, this is where I would be sending people to an offer. And you're going to put that in the custom URL. I would deliver the content to them once they actually get your email. Right? Deliver the content to them once they send your email. What you can do right here is send them to an offer. Right? So does everybody get that? So you tell them thank you when they first opt in. They go check their email. They click the link. They confirm. And then here is where you send them to an offer. Does that make sense? Okay, so if you get that, please put the number 3 in the question box. Okay, if you don't get it, please put the number 4 in the question box. Okay, good. So if you, so what kind of offer should be in that confirmation URL? What kind of offer? Can anybody tell me? So if I were to ask you what kind of offer should be in that confirmation, what kind of offer should you send them to once they've opted in? Well, one of the things you could do is send them to one of the offers you've set up as your PLR, right? It shouldn't look like PLR. They shouldn't know it's PLR, but this is where you should be sending them, to one of the offers that you have that's already set up, preferably with an autoplay sales video, right? They should click the confirm link and then be taken straight to the offer with your name on it. Right? You can do that right here in GetResponse or Aweber or any of the autoresponders when the person actually confirms. You're just going to have to customize it. Okay. One of the other things you can do right there, if you want to build a little trust, is you can actually send them to a survey. Right? And that's once again according to Ryan Levesque over in the book called Ask, if you haven't read it yet. Okay, so now what's going to happen is they're now going to get their first email from you, and that's going to be an automated email, right? That's going to be an autoresponder email. So here's a point I want to make to you is that your autoresponder needs to have it needs to be able to send autoresponder messages. So you don't want to just a broadcaster. You want to have something that will send emails, right? That will send automated emails. You must have that because the first email is going to give them what you promised them, right? And now there's a way to do this, right? There's a way to deliver that content. And the way that we're going to deliver that content is that we are going to send them to our site. So again, I'm going to suggest that you don't deliver a PDF or a zip file or a download inside of your email. When they get that email, they should then be sent back to your site. Let me show you. And let's see, where's a good example of this? I think we just had one. Okay, so this is a landing page, right? So this is where they're going to be sent in order to in order to get what you promised them. This is where the download's going to be. But now let me ask you something. What else do I have here on this page where they're going to get the download? What else do I have here that benefits me, the marketer, and it's going to benefit you, the marketer? What else are you going to have on that download page? Right? Anybody? So you can see here, I have an upsell, exactly. So I have other offers. So I'm either gonna give them an offer to upsell this other, exactly. I'm gonna have upsells and other products here. And so this is why when they confirm and they click the link in your email, that first email, you send them to your site to download it. And this is where you're gonna, because again, this is valuable real estate. And when you actually get somebody on your list and you actually get somebody to opt in, you got double opt-in, right? You got a high quality lead. Now what you need to do is you want to bring them back to your site. You want to get people used to coming to your site, right? You want to get them warmed up and coming to your site where they can see more stuff from you. Preferably, if I were really doing this the right way, I'd have a video on this site, right? That's very easy to do. All I'd have to do is just replace that image with a video. Right? So because, they already know what they're getting, right? What I would want to do is I want to have a video here to connect with them, right? So let's talk about the landing page for a second. Let's talk about the landing page. Okay, in general, also on your landing page, I didn't have it on that one, but you should have your Facebook group or your Facebook page on that landing page. You should have your video channel on that landing page. And you should have your best converting offer. You should have your support desk, right? And a link to what you promised them. I do not necessarily recommend affiliate links to start with, right? But if you must put affiliate links on there, right? If you must put affiliate links on there, I'm going to recommend that you put in evergreen stuff on there. Autoresponders, page builders, right? Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to get people to sort of think about the things that they're going to need down in the future. Don't go sending them to your competition. And again, it's not even that your competition is going to do better than you. It's really that you want to get people used to your offers, right? You want to get them used to what you're doing, right? And so this landing page, let's go back here. Let's go back here for a second. This landing page, it's missing. I have some other offers. It really should have. I've got my survey on there. It really should have my Facebook page. You want to make sure you've got all that stuff on there, but you bring them back to your site in order for them to be able to do that. Right now, I want to talk a little bit about the sales page now, and we're going to sort of talk about this all at once. And this is going to be pretty important. From a number of different perspectives. Number one, quickly, you want to have a video sales page for what we're going to be doing. And because you want to kind of communicate exactly what this is going to do for people. And we're not going to get into copy per se, but the form of this needs to be a video sales page. And probably as important as anything we're going to be talking about here, your page builder needs to have exit intent. Let me show you what that is. Let me show you what exit intent is. Now, how many of you on this call, you know how to set up an exit pop-up with your page builder? Right? How many of you know how to do that with your page builder? It's important because we're going to be generating leads, and we generate those leads. What we want to do, obviously, is, let's see, let's go back to, let's just go to one of these pages. And you want to be able to just basically, right? And if you were doing this outside of Optimized Press, I think that it goes, you turn on the exit redirect, and you tell, and here's what happens. When the person clicks away from your sales page, you want to show them your squeeze page, right? This is where we start to build, we start to use the foundation, because when you first put an offer on Warrior Plus, you're going to get some people looking at your page. But if they don't know you, they may not buy right off the stop. You want to stop them in their tracks with a video sales page. The only thing you don't want them to do is click away right away. And you can arrest them by having an autoplay video right there on the page. Now, some people are going to get turned off. They're going to click away just because the video is there. But for the most part, you're going to be able to stop people in their tracks. And what you want to do is, if they click away, you want to show them your squeeze page offer, right? And that's why you only want to have one thing on your squeeze page, and you want to make sure that that thing is going to be relevant. Now, again, you can do a popover. I personally don't like those. I know a lot of people do them, and I guess you have to test them. I don't particularly like to experience them, and I don't know how effective they are. But you can actually, over your sales page, you can actually give people a pop over to opt in as soon as they get to the sales page, right? But again, I don't know if I would do that, and I'm not gonna teach you that, because I don't necessarily agree with that. But that's something that you can do. Okay, now. So you can do a drop-down box. And so what I would also suggest that you do is a very short demo on a program like Camtasia, right? Very short demo. Very, very, very short. 1 to 2 minutes, right? If you have ScreenFlow, 1 or 2 minute demo of whatever it is that you were doing. 1 or 2 minute demo of the bonus. 1 or 2 minutes. When you get to 2 minutes, it's too long. Right, if you're going to do a demo. Now, I'm not talking about the sales video. I'm talking about the demo. So in other words, you're going to show people what this thing is going to do. You're going to show it what it is. You're going to show what's in the inside. But you don't want people to be overwhelmed. You want to show people just enough so that they say, hey, you know what? This might be worth my time. Now, you've already given them exit intent, so if they click away, they're going to be put on your list, but you want to put that short demo on your sales page in addition to your sales video. If everybody gets that, please put the number 4 in your question box. You get that. All right, let's talk a little bit about Warrior Plus. Let's talk about Warrior Plus. And why we want to do Warrior Plus, why we're going to do it for this method. Okay, first, people are there on Warrior Plus because they want to make more money. Right now, that might not be your chosen cup of tea. You might say, no, you know, Charles, I really want to work with people who want to do personal development, which is great. And here's what I'm going to say to you. The lessons you're going to learn from Warrior Plus, you're going to take into the niche, because most people, myself included, move slower than we want to, and we're a little too careful inside of our main niche, right? We're a little too careful. And the reason we're too careful is probably because we want to be able to test out things. We want to be able to try things. Warrior Plus is where you test out your ideas. The Make Money Online niche is where you try to see what actually works before you start carrying it into your niche. You generate sales in the marketplace. You start to say, you know what, this thing works. One of the things that doing a virtual summit and the virtual PLR summit actually did is, you know, it kind of encouraged me that, okay, you know what, I'm going to learn a little bit more about this, and I'm going to do this on a bigger scale. I've always done these before, but again, doing it in the PLR niche kind of said, okay, you know what, I can do this in some other niches. And so you want to test out your ideas, and that's why you want to bring some of these things that you've been waiting to do. You don't know if they're going to work. And you know what? In general, people in the Make Money Online niche don't care, right? If you have a colossal failure in July, you can have a stunning success in August, right? Nobody cares, right? Nobody cares that your last one was a dog or it was a bomb. Nobody cares. And so you can test out your marketing ideas here. When you come to the Make Money Online niche, people want things more than they want knowledge. People tend not to want to be taught things unless there's a loophole, unless you know something that somebody else doesn't know. If you're going to do PLR with anything, right, it's got to have awesome graphics. And that typically is going to mean finding a designer. Let's take a look at, and I've done this before on numerous calls, but you can actually do that on the Warrior forum and look in the Warriors for Hire section. Okay, and so basically what we're going to be doing in part 2 is we're going to be putting together a low or no cost offer. Why? Because we either want to make sales or we want people to get into our list through the autoresponder, through our exit page. Right? When people exit that page, we want them to get onto our list. So we want to have two fantastic offers. Number one, our squeeze page offer needs to be dynamite because we're going to get eyeballs onto our offer, and then a lot of people though are going to click away, even at a low cost. But when they click away, they're going to be shown what? They're going to be shown an exit pop. Right? And that exit pop should have a fantastic offer that gets people onto your list, where we're going to upsell them to our best PLR offer. That's really what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how to create some things that with your PLR are going to be at a high value so that people want them when you actually offer them. Right? You want people to feel like, okay, you know what, I really do want this. Right? This would be really cool if I got it. And so we're going to show you how to do that in the advanced session. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, does everyone understand the overview of what we're going to be doing on Warrior Plus? And we're going to be talking about rebrandable software that we're going to create with your PLR, and that's going to be the offer. I'm going to show you several ways of being able to do that. And I'm going to show you ways to do it with Camtasia. There's a program called Adobe Captivate. There's another program that I told you about yesterday that creates rebrandable software that I know people are already using. I'm going to show you the case studies of that. But regardless, you're going to go to the marketplace with your PLR, but it's not going to be just the information. We're going to go with something more valuable that the market is calling for. Right? Any questions? Okay, everybody. Well, if there are no questions, then I will see you for session 2 tomorrow. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Yep, David, there will be a replay. And in fact, what I think is going to happen, David, is the replay should happen automatically. So what I'm going to do is if I did this right this time, I should be able to kind of click a button, and then what's going to happen is you should be able to get it. I'm not going to, Gareth, I'm not going to do a second session today. This is going to take the place of the one I was going to do tonight. Okay, Garrett, do I still use Webinar Fusion Pro? Yes. I do. As I understand it, I think in April, YouTube is going to disattach all applications, right? And that includes Webinar Fusion Pro and anything. So they've even disattached their YouTube app from the Google Hangouts thing. So I'm not really sure what that means yet. So I'm still talking to Dwayne about that, but I'm using it now. I don't know after April 25th if I will be. So what I've been doing is I've been using YouTube Live. Do I have a tutorial on the surveys? I think I do, David. I can't remember, but I will check. David, would you send if you wouldn't mind terribly, would you send a message to Sydney and ask her? She actually knows that platform even better than I do. So if there is one, and I did one, I think she knows. I think I did, but I don't remember. Okay, so Gareth, tomorrow night is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. (8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time). Okay, any other questions? Oh yeah, let's see, spring forward. Yes, our clocks have moved forward. So we sprung forward. We sprung forward. Spring we go forward, fall back. Spring forward, fall back. So yes, we went forward. David, if you can now you have as part of the Insider, I know that Survey Funnel software is in, it's a WordPress plugin, but it's part of the membership. So if you can't find it, again, ask Sydney where to get it. It's in there, and you can use that that Survey Funnel software. Now there's a learning curve to learn how to use it, but it does funnel. So in other words, person takes a survey, and based on the answer in question A, they can be sent to one page. Based on the answer in question B, they can be sent to another page. So if GMP can't do it, you have something in part of the membership that you have as an insider that does, and it's called Survey Logic, I think. And it just check inside of the membership; it's in there. If you can't find it, just ask Sydney. Okay, Gareth, we last Sunday we moved forward. Yep, it's always, I think it's, I want to say it's, no, you know what, it's not always. It has something to do with when Easter is? I don't know, Dave. I don't know, Gareth. Right, no, that's right. Yep, only 4 hours difference. Okay, everybody. Well, thank you very much for being here. Appreciate you all being here, and hope to see you in session 2. Have a great night and a pleasant tomorrow. Take care.